Hey everybody. So I'm here with another moment in Black history. So today I just decided I would do another short video. Like I said, I've spent so much time, really studying Black history, all the way up through graduate school. And it's just important to me to share those little nuggets. Um, so here I go. So today I wanted to highlight somebody by the name of Robert Vann. And that's probably a name a lot of you don't know, but that you should, which is why I'm sharing this. All right. So Robert Vann was an African American who became editor of the Pittsburgh Courier, which was a Black newspaper, one of the top leading African American newspapers in the early 20th century. And he's that man right there on the picture. And the reason why I wanted to highlight him is because he was a graduate of law school. He didn't make a whole lot of money as a lawyer. He continued to work as a lawyer then he became the editor of this paper, which got big. And then he continued to be involved in politics, not for himself, like not serving so much, but really to help educate the masses of African Americans in the early 20th century as they navigated Jim Crow and other forms of discrimination. So the Great Migration that we know of, the first one of the early 20th century, came not only with increasing Black populations to the north, but an expanding kind of political influence by Black people because they had more access to voting polls as they moved up north, because we know Black people did not have any sort of formal legal protection that was supported by the federal government until the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And even then, Southern states were slow. Anyway, which most Blacks, in the South didn't have. So anyway, he was one of those Black people who had migrated north. So this man, Robert Vann, he was the editor of the Black weekly named the Pittsburgh Courier. And he urged African Americans in 1932 in this speech called The Patriot and the Partisan. In 1932, he urged African Americans to change their political affiliations. And one of the things that he said in this speech, given in 1932, was, "My friends, go and turn Lincoln's picture to the wall. That debt has been paid in full," end quote. And I just like to say here, because the one thing I believe in, and I'm one of those people, I vote, so on and so forth. And then I try to be active in my community through educating, because that's what I do. That's my, area of training. But so many Black people admired Lincoln, had Lincoln's picture on the wall. Like, how you would go in grandma's house and she had a picture of Jesus or something like that. And he was making that point then, even with FDR, because FDR was a Democrat, but Black people had been, the ones that could vote, had been very loyal to the Republican Party. And of course, politically, the party that fought for your physical freedom, yeah, why wouldn't you? But his point is, he was making radical statements then. Like, Black people have not only, that's the least Lincoln could do. He was forced into glory anyway. We don't owe the Republicans anything. They haven't done anything for us, especially in overturning the power of the South that oppresses so many of us. And he was saying this in the 30s. It's not like it's ever been safe for Black people to go against the grain. So he became an active supporter of the Democratic Party, and not out of like this sort of zealous sort of, okay, I'm changing the game. But FDR was actually sitting down with Black people. Now, he was not a perfect president. He made plenty of mistakes, and all had to be pushed on African American rights, like they all have, including Obama. All right. Nevertheless, and he played an important role in the party's national effort to attract Black voters. So in the presidential election 1936, African Americans that could vote, that did vote, voted for the Democratic Party in record numbers, which gave FDR 76% of the Northern Black vote. And this had a lot to do with Robert Vann and his activism. And so I encourage you all to look him up and look his speeches up, because these kind of Black people, we just don't hear about them. And there's so many people who have fought for the things that we have and are barely holding on to. And it's not only because, Black people just don't value it. Sometimes we just don't know. So I just want to do my part. Y'all, I hope y'all are having a great Tuesday. Have a great holiday, whatever you decide to do with it. All right. Y'all be good. We'll talk soon. Be sure to like and subscribe. Bye.